In this bonus episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about manifesting a wig room, creepy guy conversations, killing a sister and stealing her shoes, and snapping a rubber band in our chat about teen killers in love with author Lily Sparks. Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult books, series, authors, and voice actors that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda, or am I?
And I'm Claire, or am I? And today we're going to talk to Lily Sparks, author of Teen Killers in Love. Enjoy.
Yay!
Or will you? You will.
Or will you? No, you definitely,
you will.
Totally will. You totally
Lily
will.
is completely delightful and we love her in every way. So
Yes, so much.
She goes with our crazy.
Yeah, she does. We need Dog Mask. Dog Mask is so great.
Super creepy.
It really is. It's creepy beyond all reason.
It's the dead eyes and the little pink tongue that really just brings it all together.
And then, like, if you turn your head to the side, that makes it even creepier. No! I love it!
Oh no.
Yes! Oh, it's so fantastic. Thank you for joining us again.
And don't feel like you have to have it down the entire time, by the way.
It's very Very happy to be here. Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, very happy to be here. Masked or unmasked, probably be going on and off, depending on how dark my answers are to your question.
Yeah, you need to hide your face any at all when you respond. Just put the mask on, it'll be fine.
We'll spend the entire time doing this with our sunglasses anyway, because we can't see a thing.
Yeah.
Well, you both look phenomenal. I would not have recognized you in a crowd. It looked like you could get lost at a secret show, no problem.
Yes. If only we were wearing really fancy dresses. Oh, God, I love Dog Mask. I love it so much. Oh, okay. So, Claire, is it time?
It's definitely time.
Or is it?
Or is it? Is it would you rather? Or is it? Damn, we latch too easily.
We do, we really do. Pew, pew, pew.
Well, I mean, it's appropriate. Pew, pew, pew. It's very appropriate that we're all dressed up because we asked on social media, would you rather disguise yourself with a wig and sunglasses or a full face mask? And resoundingly, Facebook with 82%, Instagram with 75%, and TikTok with 100% all said wig and sunglasses. But Twitter, you deviants, 86% are going full face mask.
Well, that's because that's where Lily Sparks, shared it. She shared it on Twitter. And look at her in Dog Mask.
Yeah, all my full mask aficionados came out of the woodwork. All my maskclub.com that I'm a part of.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so we have some comments, right?
We do. So Colin on Facebook said, full face mask as long as it's one of the ones from the Mission Impossible movies that let me change my height and build at the same time. I don't want it to be one of those weird rubber ones with the built-in lips and the massive eyelashes. They freak me the fuck out. A Batman mask might work as well. Ooh, Spider-Man. Yeah, I want to be Spider-Man. So
I mean, that
guessing
would be fun.
full face mask?
Full face mask is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Emily on Facebook said, I went with wig and sunglasses because I would have to stop and eat on the road trip, and that would be easier to do so than wearing a full face mask. Yeah. Which is true, because you got to pull that dog mask up.
Yeah, no, just to get my coffee in. It's like,
but
I've lost my anonymity.
You could use a straw and put it under the face mask. Bree on Facebook said, full face masks are hot and sweaty and obstruct vision, which I think we've already established, and the same face morphing effect can be achieved with carefully applied makeup. A wig and sunglasses are much more concealing as long as you only use them in the daytime outside, or else you're really going to look conspicuous. Or are you?
Unless you're playing that I Wear My Sunglasses at Night song on single repeat everywhere you go.
You just tell everybody the prescription and my other sunglasses are broken. So what am I going to do?
I have to wear these. Too bad. I have to wear these prescription flower-shaped sunglasses everywhere.
You laugh, but I did try some variety on them when I got my eyes tested last time. So.
Oh, let's see. We've got a couple more comments.
We've got a couple of super fans, I think, in there.
We do. Annie on Facebook said wig and makeup. At some point, I would just go crazy and start trying to rip the face mask apart. But you'd fit right in with all the psychopaths.
That's true. That is true. Drew, superfan on Facebook, said, I will go full Marvel in sunglasses and cap.
Okay. Dakota on Facebook said, full face mask. If I need a disguise, I'm going all out. I don't do things halfway.
And Nina on Facebook said, wig, sunglasses, makeup, you could go full little brother and add rocks to your shoes to change your gait. Add a wad of gum or cotton gauze in your cheeks to throw a facial gait recognition software. She's thought about this too much.
I love it.
I feel like Nina might be in disguise right now.
Is Nina on the run?
Nina's on the run.
One of us may be Nina.
Oh,
you probably listen to a lot of podcasts on the run.
Yeah,
right?
Really good.
Would you listen to true crime podcasts when you're on the lam, though? I mean, because it feels like you're either going to get ideas or it's going to help the paranoia.
I think I would, just to see, where people got caught. I'd be like, ooh, what'd they do wrong?
Oh, yeah. That's a good plan.
Purposes.
Yeah. And also, maybe make sure they're not currently looking for you. Like, are they tracking me right now on this podcast that I listen to? And then you can hide. You can change your wig. And hide.
Spotted with pink wig and sunglasses. Oh no, quickly change.
Oh no, and then we trade.
I have a red one waiting to go.
I put on so many wigs this morning. I had a gray one on, I had a red one on. But I felt like I needed to do blue. Just signal throwback.
Yeah. I really appreciate the blue hair, and it is such a tragedy that we're like packing up for a move. But my daughter's last birthday, I did hair salon theme, so I got a bunch of wigs. So I have like a million wigs, most of them with like clips styled very badly, but I couldn't find them anywhere. And I have like a Versailles French court wig also packed away.
That would have been so great.
A little boy bowl cut wig also packed away that looks terrible on me. That would have been perfect.
That would have been so good. So what are you doing? Are you wearing a mask and are you wearing your dog mask, or are you wearing a wig and sunglasses? What do you choose?
I think I would go for a wig and sunglasses, just because that can be construed as like party culture if you're out at night, or just eccentricity. Whereas if you're wearing a full face mask, people are going to be like, ooh, what are they trying to get away with over there? Like, you might have an excuse to go somewhere in a wig and sunglasses. You do not have an excuse to go somewhere in a full face mask.
At least it's close to Halloween, though.
That's true.
So it kind of pull it off for like a week.
And then for a while, like, during lockdowns and stuff, people were running around in like legit gas masks. But the less said about that time, the better.
Oh, now I appreciate the people in the
plague doctors,
the plague doctor masks. And I think that's still a look that needs to be carried on.
Yeah, I appreciate the full coverage when I go into the store and see people with like the bandana with like the skull face printed on it. I don't know if you have those around your parts. Yes, it is.
It's Something is Killing the Children official merch, because I freaking love that series. So I am going to eventually do a cosplay with this sometime, because Erica Slaughter is my idol. But yeah, you need a full skull mask.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
See, at least that's one good thing that's come out of the pandemic. You can just like disguise yourself with that kind of mask.
Sadly, yes. A lot more ways to cover your face innocuously.
So Claire, what are you doing?
Wig and sunglasses. As hot as wigs can get in You can go bright colour and be an obvious wig, or you can go more natural. And like everybody's saying in the comments as well, makeup can do a lot of different change your look as well.
Yeah.
Just change your eyebrows. That can completely confuse your face.
Yeah, if I don't draw any on at all, I look like Jared Leto, so.
Are you Jared Leto?
I am! God, I wish. No, I don't. He's kind of weird. He's weirder, I think, than I am. So maybe I don't want to be Jared Leto. But I do look exactly like Jared Leto that time he shaved off his eyebrows, and it's uncomfortable. I think
I'm got a built-in disguise.
It's true, I do. And I can like draw them on angrier if I want to, and people are like, "Oh, Amanda, why are you so mad?"
Questioning
eyebrows on today. Yeah, that's just how I drew my eyebrows on today. Obviously, I'm gonna pick wig and sunglasses too because I have at least 75 wigs upstairs to choose from. That is not an exaggeration. So
that's awesome.
Okay.
I'm surprised you're still in the same one you started the episode in, to be perfectly honest.
Really, the reason why is because I forgot to bring my wig case down here, and it's up 2 flights of stairs, and I don't want to do that.
You are going to be hauling too much downstairs.
No,
too
I
many flights.
I would fall down the stairs. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with the blue. Plus, the blue is for signal. It's important.
Well, now I'm picturing like a Baroque mansion with like a swirling staircase and then just a room of wigs, just like red velvet walls and like wigs.
That is how my house is laid out.
I kind of want you've seen Return to Oz, yeah?
Oh yeah,
one of the freakiest movies ever. Like I watched it as a kid. It scarred me. And you know how she's got the headroom, but it's all got the different hairs and stuff. So that's why I always imagine is in Amanda's house, and I know that's not accurate, but it's what I believe. So I'm going on the premise that if I believe it enough, it will manifest.
That's exactly what I was picturing. True story. I was dragged out of Return to Oz as a child, kicking and screaming because of that scene. It really got to me.
So
love it now.
The Wheelers are some of the scariest things in the world. Like, I saw Child's Play when I was a kid, and all these other horror movies did not do anything for me. Freaking Return to Oz scared the shit out of me. That and The Witches, Angelica Houston, and The Wheelers. No.
I just loved all of these things as a child, which is probably why I'm demented today.
Yeah, I think it might have been the first movie I saw in theaters was Return to Oz. I don't think my parents knew what they were getting into. Like, Return to Oz! Great!
It'll be so wholesome.
It's all ruby slippers and defeating evil. I'm sorry, but like, they got it right in the first movie as well. Who the hell steals a dead woman's shoes? That's what happened in the first one. You stole a dead woman's shoes and pisses off her sister. You're gonna have somebody coming after you. It's not a wholesome thing.
No,
people dancing in the streets about her being dead. That was cold.
Yeah, and then like you just make it known to everyone. You're like, yeah, I killed this bitch, and now I'm wearing her shoes, and then they all clap for you. So of course you're gonna do it.
Honestly, you know what?
I would steal somebody's shoes.
I side with the Witch of the West, and putting Wicked on there—that's just labeling. You know, she's got every right to be pissed.
Oh my god.
Anywho,
next question. Should we move on?
Probably for best.
Okay. Would you rather steal a car from someone at a drive-thru or from an Uber driver?
I have never Ubered.
Shade dipping.
I wouldn't know how to Uber. How does
You've never Ubered?
No. I've got a car. Why would I bother?
True. It's like a club night thing for me back when I used to do things that were like club nights, which I don't anymore. I haven't Ubered in a while.
I think the last time I Ubered was like from the airport to wherever I was at the time. I don't just randomly Uber because I have a car.
I think Uber has a lot of licensing issues in the UK. I think they were banned from London for a while. It has to be Hackney cabs in London. You can't Uber. I might be wrong about that. I'm not 100% sure.
You may or may not have just made up a lie on Fictional Hangover.
I remembered something about that being in the news because the Hackney taxi drivers were all like, stop it, Uber, you're not... London taxi drivers, they know their shit. They know every single street in that city like the back of their hands, but the Uber drivers don't, and there's a level of respect for the job, and the Hackney drivers are a completely different kettle of fish than Ubers. So I think they got banned from London at least.
Good for them.
I've Ubered for like food before, but I've never Ubered for a car. I'd just get a taxi. I've got the taxi app. Why would I bother? And at least I know I'm getting a licensed taxi.
You could be getting a stranger who immediately calls 911 when you get in the car.
That would vex me.
I've had some uncomfortable Uber rides where like one guy just like pulled off and like got gas for a while, or like they'll be like, I just have to run to my friend's house, and you're just like idling in front of a friend's house, like, okay. Sometimes it's just like a really cheerful person who's like working a creative gig and just like, because when I was taking a lot of Ubers was when I lived in LA, and like LA was extremely Uber friendly. They had like a women only Uber if you just wanted lady drivers. They had a helicopter Uber if you wanted to arrive in style.
Oh my God, seriously.
It was just embraced. Yeah, it was like just deeply embraced. It's like, great, awesome, we can all like get drunk and get driven places. Yay, Uber! Because like the taxi system in LA just did not exist. Like it was not. It was like an incredibly overpriced. You got it only at the airport, and it didn't really. It wasn't accessible, I guess.
I want a helicopter Uber. My one and only Uber needs to be a helicopter in LA now. That's just freaking. That is so LA. That is so. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'll tell. Okay, there's a reason, because all the buildings downtown have helipads, whether they need them or not, because there was like a building code thing in LA where like you didn't need a certain amount of parking, or you didn't need like a certain kind of retrofitting if you had a helipad. So like all of these construction companies would just throw on a helipad to get around this like regulation loop. So you can helicopter from like building to building in LA if you want to.
That's amazing.
I'm going to message my cousin who lives in LA and ask if she can Uber a helicopter, please, and send me evidence. She probably won't, but still. Oh, it's disappointing.
That's amazing. So what are we doing? What's the answer to this question?
Stealing a car.
Stealing a car, no matter what.
As long as the keys are in the car, because hot wiring is not a modern car thing. Can't do that in modern cars.
Yeah, straight up from the drive-thru.
Yeah, I mean, at the drive-thru, you get the drive-thru food as well. So that's what I'm going to do.
Do you think also, if they threatened to give the Uber driver like 1 star if they didn't take them where they wanted to go, you'd be like, that's fine. That's fine. I'll get you from A to B.
Maybe. But, like, the guy they stole the car from at the drive-thru was, like, high out of his mind. So he probably just, like, kind of enjoyed it and was like, hey, no, okay, whatever. That's fine.
I like to think he eventually got his car back.
He probably did. They didn't spectacularly crash his off the cliff. So it's fine.
It's cool, man.
It's cool. Or those kids at the trailer park. She stole their car, too. I forgot about that. Should have added that into the question as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of Grand Theft Auto in this series.
Yeah.
Signal is low-key like a really good driver. She doesn't explicitly say it herself because she's not into giving herself compliments. But if you follow the series, like, she drives pretty well.
Well, yeah.
Eric, not so much.
She taught Eric how to drive stick.
On the fly.
On the fly. That's pretty impressive.
It blows my mind that it's not common to drive with gears in America. Like, it's all auto. Like, that's just freaking lazy. Sorry. You have to look for, if you want to drive automatic, and I do have 2 people I do know who are only licensed for automatic cars, So they can never drive stick. They have to have automatic. You have to search out specific driving instructors who will have an automatic car. It's so rare in this country.
That's
and
wild.
it's just like common over there. Like, what? Change the gears. It's not freaking hard.
I've never driven a manual car before. My sister was supposed to teach me, and every time I tried to get her to teach me as a teenager, she was like, oh no, excuse, oh, the tires are bad, oh, I'm whatever. So I just never
Sounds like bullshit to me. The easy rule is the higher the speed, the higher the gear needs to be.
Well, obviously. I know how it works in theory,
it's not difficult,
but I've never done it.
It's crazy.
I just think all driving in the UK is like such on another level. Like the one time I tried to drive around there, the roundabouts were like, I just like the big highway exchange roundabouts. I just like pulled over. I was like, I'm taking the train. I'm taking the train for the rest of this trip. I can't do this. I'm going to kill myself and others. It's time to get on a train. That's not an exaggeration.
As long as you follow the road markings, you're fine. Like my aunt, who's American, who when she was an air stewardess, and when she came over in the 80s, my mum told her, because she freaked out about roundabouts, and she said to her, the rule is, if get onto one lane, and then when the other person pulls out, pull out at the same time, because they'll take the brunt of the car, and you'll be fine. And that's the rule she always worked by. But she was really bad at reading road signs as well, and she thought she came through Heathrow because she worked for American Airlines at the time, and she was coming up to visit the family, and we're in the northeast, and she thought she was close to us because there's a place called Scotch Corner, which is not far from where you are. It's like a landmark point, but it didn't say Scotch Corner, it said Scotland. So she'd actually driven 2 hours further and then another 2 hours on top, and was pretty much at the top of like the entirety of Great Britain before she realised where she was.
No.
Oops.
She took flights from that. She took flights from that point on afterwards.
Okay, what's our next question?
Oh, that's a good question. Would you rather get Signal's makeover or Nobody's makeover?
Nobody is so dreamy.
I like Nobody. I like Nobody better than Signal. This is not uncommon knowledge. But Signal's makeover was a full-on glow-up.
Yes.
And Nobody is already glowing.
Yes.
True.
But I love
I'm
that
gonna go
she's wearing
Signals.
a tuxedo.
I know. Can I get Signal's makeover but Nobody's outfit?
Sure. Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
I'll get
fine.
Signal's top half, the head bit, and then Nobody's rest of body.
I just like everything Nobody. I'm getting her pixie cut. I'm getting her tuxedo. I just want to be her best friend. Or be her? Question mark.
I mean, she's a interesting figure. She's really funny to write for. Like her such a grizzled young woman. I would probably go with Signal's makeover just to make it a horse race. Although I did try to give myself bangs around the time I wrote this book, and it flopped so hard. Really.
Don't give yourself bangs.
It was a dark time in my life.
Did you try and cut them in yourself as well?
Yeah, I've been doing all of my haircuts since like 2020. Like, because I watched a bunch of YouTubes on it, and I was like, I can handle this. And I got so good at giving like normal haircuts, but I got so used to giving myself normal haircuts that I was like, okay, like I'll step it up to bangs. No, you always need a professional for bangs. Never get bangs. But if you're so foolish as to get bangs, if you're me, call in a professional.
Accurate.
My new life rules.
Those are good life rules.
I love those whole, the webcomics that you see, and it's like, oh, somebody's going through with trauma, and then the last panel says, I'm going to give myself bangs. No. like watching the videos where they pull the hair forward and they pull it really, really, really tight, and then they cut and it just goes poing, and it's just the tiniest little thing.
Come
It's
on.
like, oh, you fool, you fool.
Mistake. You've made a mistake. Okay, next question. Would you rather go to a haunted house or a concert?
This is the silliest question for me ever. Of course it's going to be a haunted house.
Obviously.
All haunted house all the time, with vampires preferably.
Obviously. What about you?
Yeah,
Lily?
I would
What
also
do you
say a
think?
haunted house.
Yeah.
Haunted house. I love a haunted house.
And this one was fantastic. I just want to be fake Signal holding a head, sobbing in the floor. That's all I want.
You can do that for the Halloween thing this year again. If you get your own room, you can do decapitation room.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great. I would do that if I do the haunted house again. That is what I'm going to do.
So,
Ooh.
offer some context.
You acted
No.
in a haunted house?
I did. It was really fun. We were just talking about that yesterday, Jacob and I. But it wasn't like set up really well. And the local theater house was doing it. And they have a lot of young actors, a lot of teen actors. And those guys were idiots. They just ran around like screaming at people, not doing anything. And where we were placed, the first night we were at like in the entryway, and there was this teen girl who was sitting on the floor, like she was just wearing like a dirty t-shirt and had a foot, and she wasn't scary at all. She was just like, hey, do you want to give me a high five? And would hold up the foot. And then she would follow people and just like join in on their conversations as they were walking through the haunted house. And it was the stupidest thing. It really upset me. But then the next night we were in a different room because I was like, I'm not sitting out there again with that idiot. So then the next room we were dressed up as like an old monk who had summoned a demon, and that was really fun. So that was a good time. Yeah. So the next time, I'm going to claim my own room, and I'm just going to cradle a severed head and cry about it. I think it sounds perfect.
Whilst being covered in blood, you have to have the
Yeah,
gore in.
of course.
Big upgrade from a foot. Big upgrade from a foot to cradle a severed head.
It was so weird.
Wanna have that?
It was, it wasn't weird. It wasn't weird so much as it was sad. Like, this is what you come with? I don't get it. Yeah, it was not. Oops, that was not the first night was not good. I keep hitting this microphone because I can't see where I am. I have no depth perception.
Oh no.
These sunglasses.
I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break and just, oh, look, light. Yay.
Yay. Did we all picked haunted house, right?
Yeah. Concerts are full of people as well.
Yeah, and they're all sweaty and they're like bumping into you and stuff. Although really, I guess it depends on who is putting on the concert. Like, if I got to go to another like Weird Al show, then yeah, I'm there. I will choose the concert. But probably not many other people. It has to be worth it. Weird Al was a good show. Okay?
I believe you. I'm not judging you. You
Yes,
may think
you
I am, but you can't see my face. I'm like, yeah, you enjoyed the Weird Al show. That's fine.
Did.
That's
So
fine. And I'm
great.
trying to think if there's anybody I would care that much about to see in concert. And probably not. But you know what I'm like with music.
You don't know music. You don't understand it.
No, I am definitely a one-song repeater as well.
We'll get to that.
Well, the show they go to is based on this venue in LA called The Smell. It was like a very tiny little warehouse downtown LA, and like it was all ages for a long time, but like it was just very it still is. I think it got through COVID okay, but like it just very scrappy on the inside, but they would get these like really great acts. Like they had like Phil Elverum came in, and like I would get, yeah, they just have like the best shows, but like it was very like standing room only, like scrappy vibe, and like it's essentially the place they go where it's like just kind of bare bones, but like everyone there is so happy to be there that it just
That's
creates
awesome.
a good vibe.
That's awesome.
It's not a Taylor Swift concert, we can say that much. Which is the only concert I think there's ever going on in the world at the moment. That's all I'm hearing about.
Yeah, I missed that train, unfortunately. I feel disconnected from Taylor Swift. Like it's like football for me, where it's like everyone gets it, and I wish I got it, but like I just I miss that train.
I just can't do it.
I'm happy for those people.
There you go. There you go. No, yeah, it's great. Like I don't think I've even heard like an entire Taylor Swift song beyond the one where it's like I wear short shorts. You like that's the only one I know. And I just feel like I've missed some kind of cultural moment. I don't know. I feel like I stepped out of the room and I came back and everyone has like an inside joke I don't share.
Yeah, I'm with same. And One Direction, Harry Styles. Like, I could not name a single Harry Styles song, and I'm like, hang on, he's won awards for being solo? I can't even name the One Direction songs. I remember driving in the car, and bearing in mind, they're a huge UK band as well. And I remember driving the car and listening to the radio on a rare occasion, and that's One Direction. Oh. I could not tell you what that song was. No way. Clueless.
Nope. No idea.
Last question. Would you rather learn about your boyfriend's murderous ways by reading a journal or by having an actual conversation with him and also separately his sibling?
Look, I got words about Sky, okay?
Are they 4-letter words?
Yeah, probably.
He's a jackass. Psycho.
With 3 S's. So it's 4 letters.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's...
Fuck bags.
Yeah.
Because you have to add the S at the end, so it's 4 letters. Yeah, man, Sky is the worst. I think I'm going to read a journal. I feel like I understand better when I read. So I'm going to read a journal. Even though it's all from his point of view. It's fine.
I'm actually very surprised you said that, because considering how on the podcast we're always going, please communicate, have an actual conversation.
That's true. That is true. But also, if I got to have a conversation, I could just like stare dreamily at Eric. And that would be okay. And then I could learn some like makeup tips from Sky. You know, like, ooh, how can I recreate that burn scar? All right, I'm doing it. Maybe I should talk to them.
Get them on Zoom, get it recorded.
That would be good. We do like doing Zoom interviews with people.
Hey.
Patreon content.
Pointed look at Lily Sparks.
It's really sad we have to remove the sunglasses so we actually can see there's other people here.
I know. I like this, like, getting my ring light perfectly in the eyeball spot.
Oh, yeah. That's what that is. It looks like cartoon, like pie eyes from Felix the Cat. It's so great.
They are just slightly off center as well, so they're not quite even.
It
So
makes
it's kind of like
better.
Yeah, it makes it a million times. I have to look up to do it.
You're cross-eyed. Oh, it's perfect. But what's the answer to this question?
Let's think. Journal is one perspective. Conversation means you can ask questions. However, you have to talk to the douchebag sibling. Ugh.
Have you ever been in a conversation with a guy where like he seemed like chill and then he started revealing things to you that he thought were like charming and you got more and more scared until you were looking for an excuse to leave the room?
Yes.
Because
Is that
that's
Sky?
happened to me.
Is that Sky?
That's definitely Sky. Is like he's talking to you and then like everything that's coming out of his mouth, you're like, oh, he like kills people. Like he thinks he's being charming right now, but there are bodies in the desert. And then all of a sudden you're like, I left my phone in the other room. I think I hear it ringing. Whoa, I gotta go. That's Sky. So like I would definitely read his diary. I would talk to Eric and I'd read Sky's diary, but I don't think Sky is cool enough to keep one.
Probably not.
At least if you read in the journal, you can make up the questions so you can get ready for the conversation to have with Eric. I don't particularly want to talk to this guy. I've had those awkward conversations at the bus stop and it ended in a marriage proposal. I swear to God, honestly, I was like 18, 19 at the time. We just moved and this weirdo kept talking to me at the bus stop and it was like the second time, but he was telling me about his ex and then how great he is, and then it ended with, will you marry me? And I went, a bus had just pulled up. I got onto the bus, didn't know what bus it was because he wasn't getting on it, and then went a few stops and then got off again, and I was late for my university class. But, you know,
you're alive. You're still alive to tell the tale.
Yeah, he was an absolute weirdo. Yeah, I'm going to do the journal. I've got to safeguard myself.
No, okay, wait, hold on. Your terrible story reminds me of a terrible story that I have at the library that also involves a journal and the creepy guy. I got both of them from a guy in the library. And I thought that he was like writing a story or something. And he was like, hey, will you read this? And so I did. And it was a love letter to me wherein he says that in order to stop having sexual thoughts, that he puts a rubber band around his left testicle. And I was like, all right, that's the end of this. I have to go do work now. And then I ran and hid in the back for like 3 hours. Then that guy started leaving me all of his earthly possessions after that. It was bonkers as shit.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good stuff. We eventually had to have him trespassed from the library, and I went to the prosecuting attorney's office, but they didn't do anything. It was great. It was a good time. It was a good time.
I'm so sorry that happened. But if you ever run into him again, you can always snap that rubber band.
That's true.
Away.
I could.
Oh.
Yeah. He ended up, like, I seriously got all of his earthly possessions, and he would just put them in the book drop after he was not allowed to come in the building anymore. And I had, you know those boxes that reams of paper come in? I had 2 of those filled with notebooks, and they were fucked up.
That's so intriguing.
Yeah.
I would definitely read them. I'm sorry. I'm just such a creep. I would find that so intriguing.
Oh, I read
sure
all
it'd
of
be highly
them.
disturbing.
I'm thinking they were research.
Nightmares. It was crazy. It was crazy stuff.
Wow.
Fine, you win.
I can laugh about it now, though. But then, terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that's Reader's Digest drama in real life right there.
Yeah. That guy was probably a Class A psychopath on the Wiley Stanton. If I had to guess. If I had to peg one person as a Class A, it was that guy. And look, now we're back around talking about the book again. Look at that. That was magic.
Beautiful.
Not a wonky circle at all.
No, it was totally fine. Okay, so we're finished with Would You Rather now. And so we need to talk about our other things, our other questions that we have for you. And we need you to know, if you don't remember when we talked like a year ago, that we planned this entire monthly theme of road trip so we could talk about this book.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
So we need to know, what are your go-to road trip snacks?
Anything that I can drop and I'll still be okay. So like dried mango, beef jerky. If it gets down in the crevices and I never see it again, I'll still be okay. Droppable snacks.
And you could eat it later if you find it.
Yeah.
Just dust it off.
Ew! Ah, you've crossed the line. I'm going to snap that rubber band.
No, don't snap my rubber band.
No, I'm snapping the rubber band. That was nasty.
Yikes. Oh, I like Gardettos. That's my road trip snack.
What are those?
It's like a Chex Mix, like mixed pieces of things, but they have a really good flavor.
Oh, okay. Weird.
Do I need to get a pack of those and send them in your next care package?
Yes, you need to just fill a suitcase full of stuff. It'll be easier.
You're right.
Because I think there's just that much that needs to go in.
You're right. I'll do that next time.
Hire somebody to courier it over. It'll be cheaper than paying postal fees.
You're probably right. It's ridiculous. What do you pick, Claire?
My go-to is it's called Sports Mix, but it's just jellies, like just jelly sweets, and they're just different fruity flavors. So not quite Haribo. There's no like the white foamy bits on. They're just these little gelatins, like sort of gummy bear things, but they're all in different. For some reason, they're in shapes of sports, but they've got such a nice chew to them. I'm gonna have to care package some over to you, Amanda.
Okay.
Oh, can you hear the creepy ice cream van?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, just in time. Talking
Great.
snacks. So yeah, it's Sports Mix. It's always Sports Mix. I love Sports Mix. I don't know why. It's gorgeous. But they used to do the black ones, like the black sweets. They used to be proper like licorice, so they were disgusting. They were like wah, really strong licorice. But now they're just black currants. They're nice and fruity. But I also like a fruit pastel. So that's very similar to what you're saying, Lily. If the fall, it's fine. They're gone forever. You do not pick them back up and put them in your mouth.
Dust them off a month later.
Oh, you're just gross, you nasty girl.
It's fine.
But yeah. No chocolate because it's too hot. Chocolate melts.
Oh, yeah. That'll make a huge mess in the car when you lose it. And you cannot dust that off and eat it later.
No. And I don't eat fast food in the car because it just makes the car stinky.
Fair enough.
I would eat a cactus burger.
I eat fast food in the car.
Yeah. Is that real? Is cactus burger real?
No. It's like I was afraid of like, oh, can I, will I get sued or something if I associate this with Burger King or something? So I just made up but there's like a Taco Loco or something up in the Pacific Northwest, so it's kind of adjacent to that, where it's like you could probably get a taco there, you could probably get a burger there.
Yeah.
Taco does not sound like a sensible like car food.
Not the way I do it, no. It's like putting it through a thresher when I eat a taco. It's just a crime scene afterwards.
Crime scene tacos.
Okay, so what songs do you play on a road trip? And most importantly, are you a single repeater?
Jared Leto staring me down. Those piercing blue eyes. Yes, I am definitely a single repeater. This is like something that I've done for years, where like I was like not sure if I was the only one, and I was like, this is probably some symptom of some larger disorder, or like me not getting enough vitamins. So I made it like a class A characteristic, because it is something I've always been like, why is it that I will listen to the same song, exclusively the same song, for sometimes like a solid month, a solid 2 months. Like, why? Like, to the point where I'm almost annoyed by it, but I just immediately have to hear it again. So yeah, I'm definitely a single repeater. I'll fixate on one song, and then I will listen to it until I never want to hear it again. But it has the benefit of like when I'm going back and listening to those songs later, they really capture a time in my life. So like I'll hear the song and I'll be like, oh man, I remember we were like living in this place and I used to eat that taco all the time, and like all these memories will come up. So I've come to appreciate it now, where I'm like, ooh, man, this is a good thing. It's like keeping a diary without writing anything down.
Oh, that's fun.
It's a sensory diary. I like that. I like that idea.
I like it too.
Are you a single repeater, Amanda?
I don't want to say a single repeater. It's like a triple repeater, maybe. There's like 2 or 3 songs, but I will just constantly listen to them over and over and over again. So maybe I'm not quite as psychopathic as our friend Lily, but slightly. I'm slightly psychopathic. Yeah.
I listened to 99 Luftballons once on the journey from London to home on the train. Just that single song for 3.5 hours, because I'd been down in London for work. and my brain was absolutely all over the place because it was just such a busy 2 days, and you know when you just need something just to concentrate on. I couldn't concentrate on a book or an audio book or anything, and I listened to 99 Luftballons for 3.5 hours.
That's amazing.
It was amazing, and it was a proper actual, not red balloons, it was Luftballons as well,
Right.
just to be very specific.
Right.
To the point where I could sing it without needing the words written down. I can't do it now. That knowledge has been gone. But I can certainly, if the song's on, I can do it. But I'm a sort of single repeater. Like I'll listen to it over and over and over again until I can try and get the words locked in my brain. But then it goes into my playlist that's called Fucking Brain. So then, when I can feel my brain starting to get too much and everything's like the inner monologue's getting too loud, I can put this playlist on, turn it up, and it really helps focus. I listen to it in the gym as well because it helps just focus and zone out to the point where I'm just listening to the music and not concentrating on anything else in the world. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's nice.
Current song is 1990 something by Sub Radio, and it's an excellent song. I do like the fact that it's part of the Class A Wiley Stanton test that single repeater is a psychopath, because I got to that point in the book and I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit. Shit.
So
well,
now...
well, I won't spoil the third book, but it's not, less of it better.
Well, okay, fine, if you're going to spoil anything for us. So, if you took the Wiley Stanton test, would you be a Class A?
I wouldn't. I'm too anxious, and I'm too I'm too self-conscious and anxious and not fearless, and that's part of being in Class A is like low threshold of fear, like lack of anxiety, lack of like social anxiety. Is just like being very like kind of chill and serviceable and Ted Bundy like and charming. Not charming, so couldn't be me. Definitely Class D.
Okay, good. I'm terrified of everything all the time. Like we say in our house, like if something falls over, like I get startled and I say that my tail puffs, like a cat, when a cat gets scared and their tail puffs, like all the time. And so Jacob, my husband's like, is your tail puffed right now? Like, yes, it is. I'm scared. I'm scared right now. Yeah. So if fear is a factor, then I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah, I let out a Janet Leigh shriek anytime someone bumps into me that I'm not expecting. Like, if my husband just like rounds the corner, I'm like, and he's like, it's fine. Other people live in the house.
I do that all the time. I've threatened to put a bell around my husband's neck 1,000,000 times. But you know what? It's only ever since I had my son. Before that, didn't really jump. But ever since then, I think it's because, you just kind of like, I need to zone out and not listen to what's going on and just let the world... And I think it's because I just zone out now. And then all of a sudden, he appears like a freaking ninja. And it's to the point where if he pops out, and it's nighttime, and I'll unlock the door for him, and I'm in the kitchen, preparing dinner, he's just had to nip out and go and get that one ingredient that I constantly forget to get. And he has to come in the house and go, I'm here, it's me, I'm back, I'm here. And I'll still freaking jump. But saying all that, I think I might not be a Class A, but I could be a Class B. No, I'm going to have to plead the Fifth. It's not a UK. I'm pleading the Fifth Amendment in the US.
Yeah,
that's a very Class A answer. It's leading the Fifth.
It's not going to do anything for you there in the UK, but it's fine. It's fine. Most of our listeners are from the US. It's fine.
Exactly. I haven't done anything.
Is there a wink? Is there a wink coming?
There's a dot. There's a dot. Do you know what? I'm taking the glasses off for this one. Impulse control. Sometimes, you see a person, you're like, I could stab a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. It's usually you're at a swimming pool and they start walking past. I just throw them in there. I don't know. I don't mind. Could I hold somebody's head under the water just for a couple of minutes? Just to see, just for science. I would never do that. Never.
I mean, I threaten violence on people all the time. I tell all my staff at the library that I'm going to push them down the stairs at least once a day. No,
See, there's that point where you're threatening violence to actually carrying out violence, and there's always that potential. And I honestly think everybody has the potential in them. Yeah. It just depends on the stress of the situation.
You just gotta keep people on their toes.
Exactly. If it's between me and somebody else, that somebody else has got to go. If you're going to harm my friend, I'm going to come at you.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah, definitely that.
If you kill my sister and take her shoes, I'm gonna get all my wing monkeys together and channel my dark magic and enslave you in my castle.
Exactly.
Them's the rules.
Don't kill my sister. Don't steal her shoes. Don't force my hand. Okay? I'm not, can I be held responsible for that? I don't think so. I don't think so.
That killed me. That was a good one. Okay. What else do we have?
I have no idea.
Yeah, okay, so back to book stuff, kind of related to book stuff. Which movie would you watch at movie o'clock in Arusha's family mansion? What are you gonna pick? Is it Return to Oz?
I would go with Vertigo. I used to fall asleep to Vertigo all the time. I had right out of college, I had one of those TVs with a VCR slot built into the TV. And every night I would fall asleep to Vertigo. And still, I just watch it. I just go into a happy stupor. So I would love to see that on big screen. I don't think I've ever seen it on big screen. It's a gorgeous movie.
That would be cool. I had one of those TVs too with the VCR, and when I had one of those, it was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets that I had, and mine had the auto rewind function, and then it would just start playing again. So I was
cozy.
a single repeater Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the longest time.
I never had a VCR in my room. I wasn't allowed a TV until late teenagers, so by then were DVD stage. And mine is Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
I watched that upset. No, if we're gonna go VHS though, Jurassic Park.
Ooh, yes.
I watched that. I would come home from school, put it in the TV in the living room, watch it, rewind it, because back in the day, people, if you're too young, rewind it and then watch it again until my mum came in from work.
Perfect movie.
I did that as a young kid with Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I ruined that tape. And I watched it
such a great movie.
Yeah, it is. So good.
So good. I watched it with my kid recently, and the truck driver moment. Yes. I knew it was coming. I just timed the hand perfectly to come down. You can see that part when you're 5.
That part was scary for me. And my sister, she's 7 years older than I am, so she was really cool and not afraid of it at all. So she would tell me okay, Amanda, you can move your hand. You can watch again. And she fucking paused it on Large Marge with her eyes and her tongue out.
I mean, to be fair, the signs that she was never going to teach you how to drive stick were there from very young.
You're right. You're right. She tortured me with Large Marge, and she's never going to teach me to drive a manual transmission. What else? Oh, Claire, you should ask the next question.
Oh,
this is one of your obsessions.
Yes. I mean, we can see them in the background.
We can. I wish I could read what they say.
Some stationery. And you teased us last time with the fact that the colour coding of the post-it notes. So I want teasers. I want one random post-it note read out to me that can make absolutely no sense. And it's not allowed to be the end. Can you read a random post-it note for book 3 for us? Please.
Well, this is probably not verbatim, but I'm sure I had a post-it note that read suspicion with an exclamation point somewhere in there. Because it's really The third book is kind of like the polar opposite of the first book in the sense that like instead of being in this camp, they're in the lap of luxury. They're in this beautiful mansion, but they're both prisons, right? Like it's a gilded cage. And like instead of Signal being very wary of all these like kids, and like they could hurt me at any moment, they could kill me. She's very protective of them. She's like, this is my family, these are the people I love. I would give my life for these people. And then she's thrown into the situation where she knows that one of them is like trying to sabotage her case, and she has to figure out who that is. And like, so it's like a kind of like a throwback to like the English country murder mystery, like closed environment. Like I wouldn't go that far. Like it's not full on Agatha Christie, finding a clock in the room that's set to the wrong time by 5 minutes or whatever. But it has that element of like, here's the suspects. One of them is guilty. Who is it? Yeah, that was part of the third book.
God, I can't wait.
I
can't wait. It needs to be October now.
What's your post-it color coding this time? Because we can see some post-it notes behind you, and there's a lot of green, one pink, blue, yellow.
Oh, there's another pink back there. There's 2 pinks at least.
Yeah. This is a baby board for like a work in progress that's like very, very early in development. Like, so I just have like the first act, but it's like an ingenue is cast in this film by this famous director, and she goes up to this castle where it's all gonna be filmed in a castle where all the actors and set lives, that's how they filmed the pilot of Rain. Like they hired out a castle that was also like an Airbnb and just put the entire cast and crew in there for the duration of filming the pilot, and they all got very close and they hung out in this like actual castle. And so it's kind of taking that premise and then turning it into a murder mystery where like this ingenue goes up there, and then she thinks someone's trying to kill her and she has to figure out who. So very early days on that one. It doesn't even have like a working title, but that's what's on the board.
That's fun.
That sounds good.
That's really fun.
Might have to have a castle theme.
Yes. How are we going to fit all of Lily's future books into our schedule? What themes are we going to create?
Well, when is Teen Killers at Large coming out?
It's in October.
Right.
Sorry.
So we'll need a theme for next year. What can we have as the theme for it? We had Road Trip for this one. We need a theme for Teen Killers at Large. Gilded Cage.
Gilded Cage.
Gilded Cage.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good one.
Right. I'll put it in the diary.
Go ahead. Put it on the schedule. It's happening. So I am so freaking excited for Naramake. I love that you described it as, what was it? Midnight Sun for psychopaths or sociopaths? Yes. Yes. That's like, I love that. I love that, and I'm so excited for it. So,
is there a car chase sequence? There needs to be an insane car scene.
Have you read Midnight Sun? Do you know about the car chase?
I read Midnight Sun when it was like leaked, like back in like the aughts or whatever, because she didn't publish it. She was like so mad about it initially, where she's like, this book came out and like it was my soul, and like I only shared it with like my most trusted beta readers, and somehow it got leaked, so like someone close to me leaked it, and I'm so brokenhearted that I never want to write again. Like she had like a meltdown, and like I get it, like sure, but like
I can recommend a podcast to listen to. It'll give you a good summary of it. Yeah, I can recommend a podcast for that.
Ooh,
it may or may not be Fictional Hangover.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Well, my mom is like the world's biggest Twilight fan, and she sent it to me like in the fledgling state, and she's like, I know it's not ethical, I just want you to read this, it means so much to me. And I don't know if I'd even like properly read the Twilight series at that point, but I read it, I was like, I see what the attraction is here, that it's like very dreamlike, it's like very, you can tell that the person writing it just loved being in that world so much, and like I don't know. So like in that sense, like when I was approaching the third book of the Teen Killers series, I knew what Eric was supposed to do, but I wasn't exactly sure why, because like as you're writing, your characters start like dictating themselves a little bit more, and I was like, I know where this all ends, I know what he's supposed to do, but like I'm not 100% sure about his motivations. Like, why is he doing this? So as underwriting, as just like writing that I didn't mean for anyone to see, just for me, I started just like writing his perspective of the first book. So I'm like, okay, well, what have you been doing then? Like, why was he doing this? And like, okay, so why, when did the turn come, and like, how did that affect the next thing? And then like, as I was writing it, and I meant it to be very simple at first. I was writing it on my phone. We were like forced out of our house by a forest fire, and I just kept writing it on my phone. And it just kept going, and I had so much fun with it. So like, I was like, I could like, this actually explains a lot about him, and it explains like a lot of Jada's backstory kind of gets pulled in, and like his relationship with Jada is kind of special. And I was like, I'm so glad that like I know this about Jada now. And then I was like, obviously pre-orders are huge, 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 and like authors kind of, they try to think of anything that's cool for pre-order incentive. Like there'll be book plates and bookmarks, and I was like, I want to do something um that isn't like just like, I want to do something that's like really like for the fans, where like you can't lose it. Like you can lose a bookmark, right? You can like, I love my book plates and my character art postcards, but you lose them. You don't keep them forever and ever. And I was like, I think this would be a really cool pre-order incentive for people who care about the characters. But part of what I'm trying to do with it is that once it's sent out before October, like I'm not making it available for sale. I'm not keeping it on my website. I'm not putting it up on KDP. Like it just goes away. Like I'm not making it available again. So like only people who have pre-ordered the book will get this like document, and then it's an ebook, but like they will be the only one in possession of it. So where it goes in the world from there will be directly related to them. Like who they want to share it with, how they care to put it out in the world. And I think that's an interesting, I'm just interested to see where it goes from there. Like the idea of having this like secret track, or like this like, inside handshake that only an inside joke of a book that like only some people will know is very interesting to me.
I'm very excited for it. I can't wait. I need it.
Yeah.
You want it so you can compare yourself to Eric and see how much of a psychopath you are. I know that.
You may or may not be right. It's fine. I just love Eric. I don't care. I love him.
You want to smooch Eric as well. So much smooching in this book.
So much smooching. And, I was there for it.
Fine. Yeah, it's is this a kissing book? Yeah. The answer is yes.
It is 100% a kissing book. What about book 3? Is book 3 a kissing book?
Yes, book 3 is also a kissing book.
Okay.
I think that'll
Very
be
much
more
a
than
kissing
just
book.
kissing.
So it's there's a hint of spice. There's a hint of spice. There's pumpkin spice level spice.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wholesome spice.
Wholesome spice.
He takes the elastic band off.
No! No, he pops the band. No.
It snaps all by itself. Oh.
Gross. Okay. What a place to end this conversation. Is there anything else that you're excited about that you want to tell us about? It doesn't have to be book or whatever. Tell us great things.
Well, I am just going to plug that I have an audio drama through Audible, which is a retelling of Rebecca, set kind of in like the world of fundamentalist Mormonism, kind of like FLDS. It's kind of set in like Warren Jeff's version of the FLDS.
That's cool.
And that should be coming out sometime in the fall, so I'll be yelling about that. And then the next book series that I'm starting on is called The Merciless King of Moor High, and I'm so proud of it. I can't wait for people to read it, but it's about like overnight all the adults become these like huge monsters. They like morph together into these big monsters, and the high school kids barricade themselves in their school. And there's these two schools, like crosstown rivals. One is like a nerdy magnet school, and one is a party school. And while they're barricaded, they develop these very different societies. And the party school bases theirs on a video game, kind of like Elden Ring, where there's like a king and knights, and they go out and they kill the dragons. And when a girl from the nerdy school gets kind of dragged out of town because she finds out a secret, she ends up going to the party school, and she has to kind of fit in or die trying. Like she has to learn to kill the monsters and get along with this like really hardcore like monarchy that's been set up. And yeah, that's the Merciless King of Morhai, and I'm just so excited for it to be out in the world.
That sounds so
when
much
is that?
fun.
Because I need it.
It's April 2024.
April. Gosh. Okay, so then we'll have to let people read it and give them time to absorb it. So, sounds like summertime again. Sounds like summertime again. We'll have to force you on and we'll create another theme to match.
I'm always here to talk with you ladies.
Fantastic.
And I will have a wig next time. I will finally show off my wig collection that's in the U-Haul right now.
Do. Yes. We can rotate through all of our wigs. I think it sounds like a great plan.
I need more.
You need more wigs, Claire.
I need more.
You need more wigs. We have hundreds of wigs between Lily and I. You need more wigs.
I know I do. I will. I'm just on my Goodreads putting things on The Merciless King of Morhai onto Want to Read. There we go. Now you have a newsletter as well. So do you want to give everybody the information so they can sign up to your newsletter and get all the information for when your stuff comes out?
Oh yeah, my sign up is on sparkslily.com. It like pops up so you can sign on to it. I also have it pinned to my Twitter because people are just leaving Twitter as fast as they can. So I'm like, hey, before you go, KIT. So yeah, you can find it at LilyRoro, which is my Twitter, or at my site sparkslily.com. It'll pop up and ask you to sign on to the newsletter, and please do. I only send out newsletters like twice a year. I'm very lazy about it, and I try to always have like some kind of discount or some kind of big news or like some kind of actual value to the newsletter.
Perfect.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We love it when you come on.
It's such a party.
It is. We have a good time. We have a good time on Fictional Hangover, and then we always create book themes for anything that you halfway breathe about. So it's fine. It's fine.
I have a concept of a concept of a concept that won't be out for another 10 years. It's fine. Tell us. We'll jot it down.
Done. We're already there. We're already working on it behind the scenes. It's fine. Oh my gosh. Really though, thank you for joining us again. We love you. We're so glad that you've got lots more things coming out. And we're there, front row.
Yes.
Pre-orders
so much fun.
Pre-ordered.
Definitely.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This has been an absolute pleasure and a party. And
thank you.
Keep coming on as long as you'll have me.
Yay! Forever and forever. All right. Bye.
Bye.
So that's it for this bonus episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson. But don't forget about our live episode on Friday, July 21st at 5 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. GMT. It's going to be amazing.
I'm looking forward to it.
Look out for our Would You Rather polls on social media. Don't forget about our book club and monthly challenges on Facebook. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com, follow us on Instagram at fictionalhangover, find us on Facebook at facebook.com/fictionalhangover, and on Twitter at fictionalhangover, no ER. If you like this episode, check out our others, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe so you don't miss out. And finally, special thanks to Liz Emerson for her music. You can find her on Facebook and Patreon. Thanks for listening.